we want. I really want to take this opportunity to thank you for your being here today. I mean, realize you're a very busy fellow and you are doing so many good things for our community. And we really appreciate you giving us a little time to talk about those things
You're
and to
very
spread
kind. Thank you.
and, and spread the word. Now, I was watching a little bit of some of the things that you're involved in, and I was sharing with the group earlier. As a matter of fact, there was an amazing lady who was she's a builder. She's a builder, but she's a designer, and she's involved in and included building of homes that are non-toxic. And she has the dimension to create an environment
Mm.
that's pure in air and pure in sunlight and pure in the consistent purities of living fruitfully. And I thought to myself, I said, man, this is an amazing opportunity because Claire mentioned earlier, I suffer from, I had trigeminal neuralgia. And so, and
Ouch.
yeah, I know. And so, but you know about it. And I had a good doctor, very good doctor. He caught it, he understood, and he gave me prescriptions that work. And so I'm coming back now, and
Good.
it's amazing. And so I wanted to make sure that the time that we have, and I can help explore with you. Now I got your focus on community, the right combination of diet, sleep, and aspects of a coordinated way of growing so that we can live pure lives. And we're not caught up with a sickness agenda. And I know I have to commend you because you have this tenacious perspective about helping solve people's health issues. And that's, and many physicians probably they look at a problem, I don't know, but your tenacity is giving our community great results, and I've got to. I
Thank
mean,
you.
I'm just impressed. I'm just impressed, and you've taken the time to really focus on what and how can we solve some of the problems that typical Americans and typical people and patients suffer from to the point of the future. And so, I mean, I have so many questions, but it's just an amazing time. So, in light of these things, where we're going as a culture, I always like that as a community of people that we live, we grow, we prosper, and we impact. And so, please, if you can.
So I have to tell you, we live in extremely challenging times. One of the big problems is uh, insurance,
Mm-hmm.
because insurance is now defining what you have access to and what you don't have access to in terms of your healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a situation where doctors no longer work for patients; they actually work for insurance companies. The insurance company tells you what they're going to pay you and and thus how much time and energy you can spend. And I have patients telling me all the time that, well, I had a guy come in the other day for crying out loud who's I'm looking at him going, he's got Parkinson's.
Oh.
He's been seeing a dozen other physicians before I saw him, and no one's managed to mention that to him.
Oh boy. Tough.
And and it's because they don't take the time and because they get extremely narrowly focused on, okay, you're in here for a head cold and don't look at the rest of you.
Uh-huh.
And it takes time to do good medicine. Our intake interviews are 2 hours.
Oh. Okay.
So it takes a lot of time to get the story, listen to the patient, and understand the totality of what's going on with them. And it takes time and follow up to integrate these comprehensive treatment programs. So that's one of the big challenges facing us in medicine today is that they want you seeing a patient every 10 minutes if you're going to be paid by the insurance companies. We do not participate in insurance because of that, because I will not compromise my medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've got too many people who are focused on very narrow
Mm-hmm.
things. Quick story, my father.
Uh-huh.
Okay. My father, I went to go see him a couple of years ago. My dad's 97. I
Oh.
went to go see him a couple of years ago and we went for a walk. And dad gets about 300 feet and he's out of breath and panting. And I'm going, okay, you and I talk on a regular basis. And I say, how are you doing? He says, fine.
Uh-huh. Right.
I'm struggling with the definition of the word fine.
Uh, uh,
So I called his cardiologist, and his cardiologist said at the time, he says, "Well, he's 94." I said, "No, no, no. Let's start this
that's
conversation
not a
over."
good. That's not a good direction.
Right. So we started. He says, "Okay, I'll do a continuous recorder on him to find out what's going on." In
Uh,
Florida, things are at 2 week intervals.
okay.
So 2 weeks later, they put a recorder on him, and sure enough, he's in third-degree heart block.
Uh, uh,
Now, you don't get visited by the third-degree heart block fairy.
right.
You usually have had an obstruction to one of the vessels in your heart, or you had an infection in your heart that caused the problem.
For some time. Uh-huh.
So I said, "Should we stress him?" And he said, "Well," and I said, "Yes, we should." So he
Uh,
needs a pacemaker,
uh-huh.
and he puts the pacemaker in him, and that doesn't fix the problem. And so then we end up doing a cardiac cath on him, except they put him in the hospital and they call me and they say, your dad's going to need a transfusion before we can do the cath. I said, transfusion?
Uh,
I said, what's his blood count? The answer was 714. Okay, 7 hemoglobin, 14 crit.
uh-huh.
That's half a tank, less than. Okay,
Okay.
you can run a car on half a tank. You cannot run a human being on half a tank.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Okay.
why he's getting short of breath. It's not his heart. He hasn't got enough blood in him. But the
Uh,
cardiologist who's been doing serial labs on him is a pump guy, not a fluid guy. So he wasn't paying any attention to the fluid.
right. 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 Right.
So this is a massive problem we have going on in our profession. And I find this, obviously, this is a very personal story in terms of what happened to my own father. Again, we're now 3 years later. He's doing just fine. Thank you very much.
Uh,
Um, but certainly I've seen this happen over and over again with my patients. This is not an uncommon story. So the challenge is getting your doctor to actually pay enough attention to you to give you the time and the care you legitimately deserve and need in order to have a successful, happy life.
but you're rare, doctor. Now, because you a true physician's physician. Because you understand more than the typical and you ask more questions than the typical, which makes you find and look for real adequate and real solutions. And so, amazing in that. Now, typically that you're cut above. I can see that. I heard
Generous. Thank you.
tells you that. So, but how do we make more like you?
We're going to have to reform the healthcare system, and that's a great big
I
discussion.
know, I
But you
know.
got to be willing to pay for doctors' time. You've
Sure,
got to be
sure,
willing to give them uh, the time, pay them appropriately so they have the time to sit and listen to you, pay
sure.
attention to you. So they also have the time to not have their noses buried in the electronic medical record on the computer and
Right.
actually make eye contact with you, God forbid.
That's true.
Right?
That's
So we're in this transition period. I think AI is going to help us.
uh-huh,
I'm
uh-huh.
extremely excited about AI for a number of reasons. One
Okay.
of which is we're going to be able. So, right now we have genetics. Okay. Genetics is a lovely thing, but all by itself ain't the answers. Example celiac disease.
Okay.
35% of the population is prone to the development of celiac disease genetically.
Uh-huh.
Only 3% of that population will ever actually develop celiac disease. So, what's up?
Uh-huh.
What's up is it's a combination of your genetics, your environment, your epigenetics.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And that whole epigenetics, the food you eat, the toxins you're exposed to, your environmental stresses, your psychological stressors that come to play on you that ultimately determine if genes get expressed or not.
Uh-huh.
So we are now, because we can measure epigenetics, we are now going to be able to, with AI, which its job is crunch big number sets and find patterns. Well, epigenetics plus genetics plus proteomics, metabolomics, we can actually get to a very individualized medicine. We can determine what exactly you need. We can determine what is not good for you. We can
Uh-huh.
determine what diets are going to be ideal for you.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
That's coming. And that's what I'm most excited about right now that we're going to be able to get access to that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we are
This is
fascinated.
amazing.
I have to stop y'all
Hold on,
because
hold on,
our
hold on,
next session is going to be.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
But I want to bring you back.
No,
I'll
no, no,
get
no.
back with
No,
Becky on another date.
one second before
Yes,
you
go
take
ahead.
away. Now that's amazing. That's cutting edge, and that
Yes.
really needs to be personified. It needs to be, explosively distributed so that people know there's another class of medicine that tells you more specifically. I often thought this that there should be some kind of measurement that will measure your vitamin deficiencies and also measure your input for and when we're headed down the wrong track for chronic illness or stuff like that, bing,
Right.
bell goes off. Okay, you need to take more interest in this. You're not getting enough sleep. And just the fact that you're not getting enough sleep, will lead you to further trouble if you're not careful. Yeah, so,
Or if you're sleeping and you have sleep apnea, which
uh,
5% of the population has, and 85% of the population isn't diagnosed, you're suffocating every night you go to bed because you're not getting enough oxygen.
Wow.
so your
Need to
method.
make, and that's an easy diagnosis. Epworth. If your audience goes home with nothing else, Epworth, EPWRTH scale. You can look it up online. It's free. It's easy. It takes you 2 minutes to take. You score 10 or above, you need to talk to your doctor.
Okay. So how we get you? Yeah, I mean, you got to be out there, Doctor Kaplan. We got to get you in front of more people, but you don't have much time, I know. But I mean,
I
what
know.
about what about distributing an international flavor of what you do? I mean, you got your conference and you do that. Do you get people coming from all over the world for your conference and that kind of thing?
Yes, yeah, they attend those. Usually, they attend virtually, but yes, we have people who we have speakers that come from Israel, from Brazil, from London, from Canada. So we have speakers literally from all over the world.
Italy, France, those are territories I'm
Yep.
familiar. Even Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi. Those are communities that really are interested in medicine, and they really need those kind of messages to reach out.
And doing some really creative work in longevity.
Okay.
So the
Okay.
Saudis in particular and in Dubai. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Oh wow,
Fantastic.
I've lost this battle, but you, I'm excited about. I'm so. It's so amazing that we've met, and I'm glad, and I look forward to greater and more personified discussions. Meanwhile, we've got this amazing new collection of people, and they're going to help us with understanding the dynamics of medicine and the challenges that we are facing, and how we can help harness and be more health conscious. I think over and all, though, America is focused on getting a little more health conscious and more, aware, of that. But you bring up a subject that how old is my brain?
Yeah.
you know,
We can measure that.
is that right? Okay,
Yes,
okay. I'd like to know. I mean,
we can measure that.
because if I'm older than my brain is older than me, I got to fix something.
Well,
you know.
we are having a delightful conversation with Dr. Gary Kaplan, the doctor of orthopedic medicine, the founder of the Kaplan Center for Integrative Medicine, and clinic associate professor of Georgetown University School of Medicine. What an honor to have you on our show. And we are now moving into our section about divorce and single. Yesterday we did couples, and today and so one of the things that Dr. Kaplan was saying, that is community. It's getting people together and having a strong network, which is what I've been saying forever. So get on the bright side, keep attending my Zooms, and keep getting connected with people. So Dr. Kaplan, before I let you go, if you'd like to give my group a little advice or some tips for the holidays, and then thank you all for being so patient. And then we'll go into our section, which you'll all have come to attend.
Tips for the holidays is don't stress it. Pay attention to your own pace and what you need. You want to be kind, loving, and respectful to yourself first and foremost, and then you'll be able to be there for everybody else.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
Great messaging,
Great.
Doctor.
Yes.
Really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.
Privilege.
And
Thank you for having me.
we look forward to future
Yes.
discussions and dialogue and whatever we can do to assist and enable your messaging out to more people. Just whisper in our ear and we'll come running.
Yes. And
Thank you.
I'll follow up with Becky so we can do more with you and your Kaplan Center. So thank you so much.
Great.
All right.
Thanks very much.
All right. And I'm going to stop.